very disturbing, but it was just fantastic, and I really enjoyed it.
Good.
Thank
so
you.
there's a scene with you and Jake where he like gives into the voice in his head and he stabs his ear. It's a very gruesome scene, but it kind of sets up the violent imagery for the rest of the film. How was it doing those kind of imagery sensitive scenes like that?
Well, I was only on set for, I wasn't even there when you did this. Actually, I was there, but I was getting all dressed and ready and everything while you were shooting it, and I came down, I was like, how did the screwdriver go? And everybody was like, it was great.
I know, we're totally crushing what your visual was of this.
But, no, I mean, look, I happen to be drawn, and always have been, to dark and disturbing movies. It's just been, not that that's everything I've done, but it's certainly the genre, the area of films that I've always liked the most.
Like Nightmare on Elm Street?
No, not like Nightmare on Elm Street. No, but like we were saying like yesterday, like we love Stanley Kubrick and we love movies that push the envelope in a very psychological way. And so, you know, all those things are the kind of ideas that might frighten my mom away, but are the things when I read a script that I get excited about. So,
how should I go about balancing it?
Balancing
the violent imagery with the rest of it.
With the pretty imagery.
Well, I don't know that we balanced. I think that we reached a tipping point and then we were unbalanced. You know, I think that's part of what the journey is meant to be. Is that, you know, almost from the beginning, or if you read the synopsis and the catalog, you know that it's going to go to a place, and it's just about how and when. You know, and that's, I think, a lot of our experience of life. You know, of certain kinds of things. You know that somebody's going down a bad road, you know, often in life. And you don't know when something horrible is going to happen, but you kind of have a feeling.
Right.
And once it goes there, as you know.
How was the casting process? Did you write any of the parts for these actors?
We didn't write them specifically for them initially. We were, you know, fortunate that they responded to the material, and we, you know, saw them and approached them because we thought they had the qualities that we were looking for in those characters, and fortunately they agreed. And once they were on board, I think there's certain things you do, you know, you begin to shape, and they bring their own points of view to the characters, and they get to spend a lot of time thinking about these characters, and then start to, you know, there's a feedback loop that gets created, and they start to inform the character as much as the original.
Yeah, watching it last night, I was so happy. I was thinking about it. I don't think any of the characters would have been played the same by different actors. Like, I feel like everybody in the movie, from Jake to you, even to me, is like, I think we all kind of found something very specific in the characters you created, and we kind of, with your guidance, I can't imagine anybody playing Wendy the way you play her. Like, I'm serious, like, it's a very cool thing. It's not every movie.
No, yeah, I mean, I think that goes to when we met each of you within 2 minutes. We're like, that's it. You know, the search is over, or, you know, our instincts were true. This is the perfect person for the role. I mean, across the board. No, I'm not kidding.
Yeah, we got really lucky.
I think it also depends on what kind of actor you are. Like, not every director responds to me the way these guys do, because I come to the table with ideas, and some of them are shot down, and some of them are totally crazy, and some of them hopefully are great. And, you know, it takes a really kind of special and open mind to be able to appreciate that, and then, like, kind of harness that and go, okay, this is not going to work, Nikki, and we're just going to have to lay that down, and then this will. And I think
I asked to do the whole movie pantless. And
crazy, me too!
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
We saved you from that.
At least they turned both of us down on that,
it's
because
true.
I would have been pissed if you guys had been pantless and the whole thing. But that is a nice, you know, collaborative process, I think we had.
Y'all have worked on big studio films before. What would you say are some of the advantages of like working in independent film?
Endless advantages.
Unless you want super good catering.
Yeah, other than catering and craft service and trailers. I mean we've talked a lot about this today. And obviously it's different for the filmmaker's side, but I was saying earlier that it's sort of like, you know, you'd think that indies would be much more of a headache to make than a big budgeted feature. Certainly from our standpoint, it's basically just as difficult and messy and stressful. But I like just how small doing an indie is. And you were saying this earlier, that if you have a question, you go directly to the source. Like sometimes on these big movies, you don't know whether you're supposed to ask the producer, the director, the writer.
And they don't know who they're supposed to ask.
Exactly. So it just goes on and on. So we really had on this movie, we had a really strong little sense of community. Like for so long, we were in this old building downtown where Jake Hoffman's apartment was, like all the sets were, and it was just like this old, nasty building. But it kind of helps you because you just end up focusing on the project. You're not thinking about anything else.
Shared diversity.
There is nothing there. No TV, no internet. It's just, yeah.
But that's
great.
I
fought for a chair.
We got you a chair.
You did.
Since we're here representing our university, a popular question that we've been asking people is just like, if you could teach a class, film, music, or anything, what would it be? I'm such a film nerd. I mean, really always have been. I guess I would teach like film directors. I mean, not to teach how to direct a movie, but I teach facts.
Like history, like the theory, film theory.
Yeah, I guess.
Cool. Really awesome. I would take that class.
Thank you.
I don't feel qualified ever to say that I would.
That's the only thing I could maybe pass
in any
at.
Field. I don't know.
I would boil it for independent filmmaking down to one key phrase: shoot first, ask questions later. We've learned that's the only way to get a movie done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we kind of just decide that we're going to do it, and then we figure it out after the fact. On almost all levels. I mean, not the screenplay, and like we take time.
You know that Kubrick quote where he said, "All you need to make a movie is a camera."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, it's not true, but it's like technically,
I guess technically,
you know what I mean?
I actually love teaching. I've taught a few times. I
really
enjoy it. I think independent
editing.
Well,
yeah.
I think it's all the whole. Thank you, appreciate that. So I should stop teaching directing. Very good move. But I think independent filmmaking, you really tap into something. People are inspired. People that make movies are inspired people, right? People that see it all the way to the end are really powerful, inspired people that stick to it. So there's something really gratifying about teaching kids to like stick with their dreams and don't give up and keep pushing through. And I find as an independent filmmaker, I use those same strategies in dealing with my life. Like, I don't give up on, like, I don't say no when the DMV says you can't do that. I'm like, well, no, why? I want to know why. Let me figure that out. I mean, an independent filmmaker is like a beast. Like,
the DMV says it a lot.
To me, it does. I got
Did the DMV tell you not to make snap?
No, I lost my driver's license. I couldn't fly, but I figured it out. I expedited and I got here. Yes. No, but there is that whole sense of like not giving up, and that's an awesome thing to inspire kids with, whether it's directing, writing, acting, and like stick with it, you know, and something will break. You will break through.